Hi, welcome to Syed Digital Education. This is Second Page UC English. Chapter 2. TooDear. Written by Leo Tolstoy. Near the borders of France and Italy, on the shore of the Mediterranean Sea, lies a little tiny kingdom called Monaco. The kingdom has only 7,000 inhabitants. If all the kingdom land divided, there would not be an acre for each inhabitant. But in this toy kingdom there is a real king. And he has a palace, courtiers, ministers, a bishop, a general, and an army. It's not a large army. Only army of 60 men. In this kingdom there were taxes on tobacco, wine, spirits, and a poll tax. A special revenue come from gaming house, where people play roulette. People play, and whether they win or lose, the keeper always get a percentage on the turnover. And out of his profits he pays a large sum to the prince. A few years ago a murder was committed in this toy kingdom. The people of this kingdom are peaceable. And such a thing not happened before. The judges assembled and tried to solve the case in most judicial manner. The judges decided to punish the criminal, to have his head cut off as the law directs. But there was only one problem, that they don't have a guillotine machine for cutting head off, nor an expert. So, the ministers decided to address an inquiry to the French government, asking whether the French could lend them a machine and an expert to cut off the criminal's head. A week later reply came. A machine and an expert could be supplied. And cost would be 16,000 francs. This was laid before the king. The king decided 16,000 francs as more than 2 francs on the whole population. And told the ministers to find a cheaper way. So, the ministers decided to send a similar inquiry to the King of Italy. The Italian government reply, a machine and an expert whole cost be 12,000 francs. This was told to the king. The king decided this was cheaper, but too expensive. So, the king told the ministers to find another way to deal with this rascal. So, the ministers decided to call the general. And told the general to find us a soldier to cut off the criminal's head. So, the general talked it over the soldiers. But no soldiers ready to do it. No, they said, we don't know how to do it. It is not a thing we have been taught. At last the ministers assembled again. And decided to change the death sentence into life imprisonment. The king agreed to this. They managed to find a place and they put the criminal there and placed a guard over him. The guard had to watch the criminal. And had also to fetch his food from the palace kitchen. A year later, the king, looking over his account of income and expenditure, he noticed a new item of expense. This was for keeping the criminal. A special guard. And the criminal's food. It came to 600 francs in a year. So, the king told the ministers to find a cheaper way to deal with this rascal. The present plan is too expensive. Then the ministers assembled. One minister said, we must dismiss the guard. Then another minister said, the criminal will run away. First minister said, let him run away. Hence the guard was removed. Next day the criminal, instant of running away, He went to palace kitchen fetch his own food and he stay in the prison. So, the ministers decided to tell the criminal straight to run away, that we don't want to keep him. There is no guard to keep you. You can go where you like, the prince will not mind. Criminal replied, but I have nowhere to go. What can I do? You have ruined my character. People will turn their backs on me. First you changed my death sentence into life imprisonment. And put a guard over me. After some time you took him away again and I had to fetch my own food. Again I didn't complain. But now you actually want me to run away. You may do as you like, but I won't go away. So, the ministers decided, the only way to get rid of him was to offer him a pension. This was reported to the king. The king agreed and the sum fixed was 600 francs. This was announced to the criminal. The criminal agreed on one condition. If they pay it regularly, he will go away. So, the matter was settled. The criminal received 1/3 of his annuity in advance, and left the kingdom. He lived a little distance away from the kingdom, where he bought a bit land and started market gardening. He always goes at proper time to draw his pension. And play 2 or 3 francs in the gaming house, sometime win or sometime loses, and return home. He lived peacefully and happily. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to this channel and press on the bell icon for regular updates.